It's me, Anton. Second video of the day. Welcome back to Irons United for our match preview. West Ham kick off our pre-season schedule with a unique fixture doubleheader on Tuesday afternoon. We are going to be splitting our first team squad in half. I can't, to the life of me, think of when that potentially would have happened before, with one group of players going to the Championship newcomers, Wycombe Wanderers, and the other tackling League One side, Ipswich Town, at Portman Road. And both matches will kick off at 2 o'clock. So, sorry, I was just checking there for my microphone. Both games will be screened live on YouTube. Wycombe Wanderers game will be free to the fans on the West Ham YouTube channel, the Wycombe YouTube channel, etc. The Ipswich game in particular, I think you've got to pay up to £10 for a fan pass to watch the game on their YouTube channel. And tomorrow, we will be doing a live watch along to have a look at both the sides. And what we think we're going to do is we're going to have one person watching one game, one person watching the other, both on the same stream, talking to you about the commentary and give you an update on the players and how they've performed, etc. So please tune in tomorrow live for our watch along. It will be on a good half an hour, 15 minutes before the game starts. So tune in tomorrow. With pre-season, of course, reduced from the normal 7 weeks to just 4, due to the scheduling changes caused by the pandemic, David Moyes is eager to get his players, of course, as any manager is, as much game time as possible ahead of the new Premier League season, which begins on the 12th of September. So we have got players that are going to be mixed. We don't really know who's travelling where. This is what's going to be the really interesting thing. But what we do know is that players like Connor Coventry, Cardoza, Baptiste, the young 16-year-old centre-half, and Josh Cullen, who have been training with West Ham on their pre-season tour, the pre-season training camp in Scotland at St Andrews, that they're probably going to feature alongside, of course, Robert Snodgrass, who's now back from injury. Let me talk to you about some of the younger lads. I mean, in particular, I'm really keen to see this young lad, Baptiste, play. Centre-half, young, enthusiastic. He can actually play all the way over the back four, every position in the back four. But he's still really young, but he from the training images, and, he can withstand at that the training regime that Moyes has put the players under, and then some of the bounce games in the training, he's definitely been okay in the games, no problem at all. So it'll be interesting to see if Moyes goes for, a team we slightly expect. So, for example, you could have Ogbonna and Diop, which I don't think we'll see. Maybe we'll put a bit of experience beside a lot of youth. So it'll be nice to see players like Baptiste, Cardoza, Josh Cullen, and Connor Coventry get a run out, and they'll get more than just a run out. On top of that, we'll see players like Diangana, who, of course, has come back from his loan spell at West Brom, and it'll be an interesting day. And this is just something we need to do. The West Ham fans are so used to looking at the pre-season, and I think historically West Ham, if we've had a good pre-season, we've probably gone into that Premier League campaign and not done so well, and then we've had vice versa to that, not such a good pre-season and got into that Premier League so well. But times are different just now, and we've just finished the season. The players have only had 3 weeks off. They've come into a pre-season training camp, and literally around the corner, 3 weeks' time? Just under 3 weeks, actually, we're kicking off the new Premier League season, which is kind of going to be crazy. So the games will come thick and fast, and it'll be interesting to see how West Ham line up. And I suppose the closer to the kickoff, we'll start to see what Moyes is thinking of doing. Get your comments in and let me know your thoughts on what you think Moyes will do come the start of the season. But I suppose the games tomorrow, it's going to be match fitness, just to ensure where the players are at. I mean, surely 3 weeks off won't be massively drastic. According to Moyes, the players were given a bit of a regime when they were off for the 3 weeks. So they should be coming at a decent standard, a decent level. It's nice to see the young players coming up through the training camps to see if they can challenge the older players for positions, and there's no ifs or buts about it. These older players will be looking over their backs and thinking, right, he's included 3 or 4 of these players. This is a make or break season potentially for Josh Cullen. And see, to be honest with you, I think I'll be really surprised if he goes out on loan again and or is released, especially after the pandemic that we've had, and times are tough and West Ham don't have a lot of money. I think this is the season where West Ham are going to give players like Josh Cullen a chance and a run out, and that's what we as West Ham fans are crying out for. So get your comments in and let me know your thoughts on particularly the younger players that were included, and what way you see Moyes splitting up the sides. Let's have a look at the opposition that we're playing. So Wycombe Wanderers, for example, they won promotion to the second tier for the first time in their 133-year history. They were a non-league club up until 1992-93 season, when they won the conference title and promotion from the Old Football League Division 3. Wycombe boss Gary Ainsworth, I think I may have an image for you here. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. Is the longest serving manager in the EFL, having been appointed in September 2012. He's 47 years old, and he initially joined as a player in November 2009 and captained Wycombe to the promotion from League Two in 2011 before taking over as player manager the following year. However, he obviously went on to win the trophy to get them promoted from the League One to the Championship. So West Ham have previously faced Wycombe Wanderers, and here's a bit of a blast from the past. 3 times in competitive fixtures. The most recent competitive fixture was the 7th of January, 1995, when Tony Cottee and Kenny Brown got the goals in the 2-0 FA Cup third round win at Adams Park. Now, I know this is a competitive fixture, but, it's always good to let you see that what the history has been between the two. And then more recently, in a friendly, when West Ham beat Wycombe back in 2018, thanks to Marko Arnautovic's goal, 1-0, that we won. Players to think about is the 38-year-old, can you believe it, the beast Akinfenwa. Last season got 10 goals. He's got over 40 goals and over 150 appearances for Wycombe Wanderers. He is a beast. Look at the size of this geezer. And I tell you what, if he gets a run out for Wycombe tomorrow, it will be a fantastic test. I know he's not pacey, but his strength alone, and just to see if our younger players, or even if anything, our older players and experienced players can actually handle the pace, or handle the strength, the brute strength that Akinfenwa can offer. Another player that's actually really interesting from them is Fred. I'm going to pronounce his name, and I know we all have problems pronouncing these guys' names. Onyedinma, 23-year-old. He scored 16 goals and over 60 appearances for Wycombe Wanderers. Nigerian player, really, really clever footballer, fast, pacey, interesting. So it's a small guy, big guy kind of opportunity up top for Wycombe Wanderers. So let's see what's going to happen up there. The next game West Ham are playing at the same time is Ipswich Town. So West Ham travel to Ipswich, who are now facing their second season in League One after 15 seasons in the Championship. Who would have thought it, with the history that Ipswich have got, that they would still be in the position or down as low as they are. It's funny when you look at the Leeds story. I can't believe the amount of years they've actually been down there, but they are down there. They ended the last campaign on 52 points when the season was cancelled, of course, and they had an outside chance of qualifying for the playoffs, but they were pretty far off. But they would have been disappointed that you never maybe got the chance to try and finish the season and try and get into the playoffs, to try and come back up and bounce back at that return. They've been crowned champions of England 1962. They've won the FA Cup 1978, UEFA Cup 81 under the management of Sir Bobby Robson, of course. Ipswich Academy, the Ipswich football team actually includes a West Ham former youth academy player in Freddie Sears. Here he is for his goal against Blackburn on his debut when he came on as a substitute. So, I think he's like 30 30 years old now. I mean, it makes me feel really old when you see an image of baby-faced Freddie Sears. And he's played over, what has he done at Ipswich? Over 100 odd games, 188 appearances for Ipswich Town, scoring 31 goals. But he wasn't prolific last year. He actually only got 1 goal in 11 games. But players to look out for Ipswich Town are James Norwood, who scored 11 goals last season for them, and in particular Kieran Jackson, who also got 11 goals for them in the League One. So it's going to be a good test. Gone are the times where West Ham, I think West Ham were supposed to be travelling to Australia this pre-season, and we were entering into a competition, playing other Premier League clubs. But times are different, times are changed, and it will be interesting to see how we line up. Now, we did, and I brought to you a video today talking about Jordan Hugo's left West Ham, and of course, I've read you all the kind of information on that. So it'll be interesting to see, is Moyes going to be playing a lot of the big guns? I mean, I don't think he's got any choice. I mean, there needs to be 22 players plus 5 subs in each in the squad. So we're probably going to see a lot of the younger players be involved, even probably more than what we imagine. We'll see Diangana get a run out. It'll be nice to see him get a run out and see what he's kind of made of. But one thing we need to do, though, is we need to take tomorrow's games with a pinch of salt. It's pre-season friendlies. We've come off a really good campaign, Project Restart, since the lockdown. We've survived the Premier League, and this is an opportunity now to see what our whole squad is made of, and it'll be the first opportunity for West Ham fans to actually see what the full squad is made of and what we think is needed, and do we think any of these youth players can make the step up to the occasion. We need to, like I said, we need to not judge these 2 games tomorrow for how our season's going to go, but it'll be a good starting point for West Ham and the West Ham fans moving forward to see what we can do in the new campaign. So get your comments in. Let me know your thoughts on potential predictions. I mean, how can we predict a game when we have no idea who's going to play? All I can say to you is, when I was up at St Andrews watching the team, the rapport, the team building exercises, there was a good vibe. There really was a good vibe. And Moyes, albeit people can slag him off all they want, is doing what he needs to do. I do think he's got a control of that squad, and in theory, the transfer, maybe he's not got control of the transfer budget, but he's got a control of who he wants, when he wants them, and how much he's willing to pay. I think he's got a good remit from the owners in terms of, listen, we don't have money, so if you want to go and get these young players, young mindset, you need to do it on the cheap. But then maybe he might have enough in his arsenal to see that we've got enough youth players there that can make the step up, and it'll be nice to see if these players in particular can step up to the occasion. So listen, if I had to do a prediction, it's the most random prediction ever. I'll go for 2 West Ham wins, and I'll go for 3-1 West Ham over Wycombe and 2-0 West Ham over Ipswich. But it'll be really interesting to see 2 games played at the same time, and we'll bring you a watch along tomorrow discussing what we saw on the games, and then try and give you a review straight after the games as well. So tune in tomorrow, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed the preview. It was tough. It's tough to go on a preview when you don't really know a huge amount about what Moyes is going to do, but after that, we'll probably see what he will try to plan, because, the season's just around the corner, and we'd start seeing that regular selection of, or style of play he's thinking of playing. But I wouldn't think moving into the new season there'll be too much difference from what we saw from Project Restart anyway. I've been Anton. This is Irons United, and come on, you Irons.